Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I apologize if the video is a little shaky. I'm a little shaky right now, unfortunately. And I apologize if I'm not really showing my whole face. Mouth sores and ulcers, and they hurt really bad. So I wanted to give y'all an update on what's going on with me. Well, y'all know I was just hospitalized back in May, and I had a lymph node removed from my under armpit, which of course that came back cancer free, which is great. But at the time I also had some other things going on with me. My kidneys started to take a turn at that point. My liver enzymes were super high, and just more of the repeat issues I've been having for the last year. So at that point, they sent me home. I was on 60 milligrams of prednisone, and I was okay for a little bit. June the 1st, I stepped down to 40 milligrams of prednisone, and I had another flare. It only lasted a couple of days. A flare for me is like fever, body aches. You just feel you feel like it's flu-like symptoms, and there's no cause essentially, like nothing that really provokes it. And kind of hard to stop it. Like, they always tell you Tylenol and stuff, but for me, Tylenol, it doesn't necessarily help sometimes with fighting the fevers. So that happened. It went away. I had an appointment with my rheumatologist sometime in June, and of course they're referring me out. So I was seeing Cone Rheumatology, and now they've referred me to Duke because they think my case is a little bit more advanced. And me and her were talking about that, and she wanted me to do a gradual step down of the prednisone. So go down 5 milligrams each week. I said, okay, that's fine. Well, around that time, my primary care advised me that if I had been on prednisone for more than 30 days, that she wanted to start me on an antibiotic to prevent infection in my body, because prednisone, it suppresses your immune system. So around that time, she prescribed me Bactrim. And I didn't take it right away. I waited a couple of weeks. I think I started the Bactrim like 2.5. My breathing is rapid. Hold on. Is it gonna stop? There it is. I started the Bactrim about 2.5 weeks ago. But keep in mind, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. I started having my normal flare symptoms about 19 days ago. And this time it was weird. I was getting fevers back to back each day. And I don't mean low grade, I mean like 101 and up. The highest temperature I've had is 103. And I tried Tylenol and ibuprofen to break them. Sometimes they would break, sometimes they wouldn't. Each morning I would wake up in debilitating pain, especially in my joints, my muscles, the bottom of my feet when I first hit the ground. I'll get headaches. My joints and my fingers would lock up. I made some bad stuff, and I'm still, signing into work each morning, just trying to make it, because I'm thinking, this flare will pass. They normally don't last this long. Well, this one lasted a long time, and it got to the point where on Monday of this week, 7/10, I called out of work. I called my doctor's office as soon as they opened. I said, I really need to see somebody. I need some help. This is getting worse. They couldn't get me in until about 3. They got me in. We talked. They told me at that time to go ahead and stop taking the Bactrim. They ran a lot of blood tests. They did urine, all of that. And I went home. The next day, 7/11, which was Tuesday, I still was feeling horrible. I didn't want to call out of work, but I woke up with a fever again. I think my fever was 101.2, something like that. It's not the highest it's ever been, but I had a fever. And I went ahead and called out of work, and it's a good thing I did. I have to sign in to work at 8. I called out about maybe 6:57. No sooner than it hits 8 o'clock, like 8:01, The doctor calls me and she goes, hey, stuff is not looking good on your blood work. You need to go to the emergency room right away. I need you to get up there as soon as you can. I said, well, okay. She starts telling me which numbers are not good. My creatine or creatinine, whatever you call it, was 2.78, which is pretty high. I forget the number on my liver enzymes, but they were heavily elevated. My platelets were super low. My platelets were 54. My platelets have never been this low before. And, so I got myself together. I went ahead and packed a little bag because I knew they were going to admit me. Anytime I go, they always admit me. I called my mama and told her what was up, and I went to the hospital. And the wait in the ER was so long. They triaged me, they took me back, and then, they make you come back at least here and sit in the waiting room and wait. And that wait part wasn't too long, but when I tell y'all, it was like almost a 24-hour wait for an actual bed to get admitted. They told me as soon as I went back there, hey, we're going to admit you, but there's a long time for beds because it's pretty full. So I understood that. So they had about 25 of us or so in another part of the ER that were waiting for beds. And they just tried to take care of us the best that they could, like a floor nurse would versus an ER nurse. And I finally got in my room last night. So I've been here, staying in this room for one night so far. And it's pretty much the update. My doctors came in today. One of the head doctors from my primary care practice came in, and she said that she is going to speak with my rheumatologist I have here and see if there's any way that the rheumatologist can speak with Duke, and they want to possibly transfer me to Duke Hospital, just so I'm closer to the rheumatologist, even though my appointment for them is July the 31st. They want to go ahead and see what is up. Half of the team thinks that right now I'm having an allergic reaction to the Bactrim, but that I'm also having some, autoimmune issues, like it's triggering the autoimmune. The other half thinks that this is all autoimmune. Me personally, I think that it is both. I'm having my regular autoimmune symptoms, but y'all, these other symptoms, especially with my skin, y'all know that I get hives because of the autoimmune. It's normally gone in 24 hours. This has literally been going on for about 4 days. My skin burns and itches so much. And every time I move or touch any part of my body against something, it feels like sandpaper. It almost feels like somebody's either burning or ripping my skin off. And if you touch my skin, like if somebody else touches it, it's so soft, but it doesn't feel that way. And I have these weird red rashes all over my skin. Like it's not like my normal hives. When I say all over, they're on my thighs, the tops of my feet, just places I don't normally get my hives. I normally get my hives on my arms, my back, and maybe a little bit on my legs, but never all over. And then also the mouth ulcers are new. They always ask me at the rheumatologist if I have those, because people with autoimmune diseases tend to have those. I never have, but I have them today. And it hurts so bad, and my mouth burns, and I was already kind of slacked up with my eating and drinking, because when I get this sick, it's very hard for me I lose my appetite. But now, they've hiked the prednisone back up to 60 milligrams. I feel hunger now, but it's hard to eat because of my mouth. So I'm trying not to get upset, because that won't help anything. My lips look so greasy because they burn like crap, and I've been putting stuff on it. I don't understand why they burn. I think that's the Bactrim. I'm not sure. But y'all, please just pray for me. If it's not one thing, it's another. And I want to live so bad, and I just want to make it. I just want them to figure out what's wrong with me, start a medication regimen, and just go on with my life. That's all I want to do. I'm tired of being in hospitals. This is the third hospitalization in a year and a half. And before this, I would just go to the doctor a couple of times a year and be fine. The good news is, though, well, not really good news, but I was having issues with my blood pressure being really low. I've had that issue for about a week. And so they told me to go ahead and stop the blood pressure pill for now. And my blood pressure has been amazing the last 4 days or so. So that's something to celebrate, that I probably finally regulated that, but it also could be something with my autoimmune. So we'll see if I stay off of that. They said I'm extremely vitamin D deficient. So they got me taking, was it 50,000 something? Like it's in one pill. That's a whole lot. They gave me this numbing stuff for my mouth. So I put it kind of down here is where some of the ulcers are. They're at the top of my mouth, like the roof. I'm kind of scared to put the numbing stuff there. And that's all I got right now, y'all. Thank you all for reaching out to me, those that have. Because y'all know, a lot of people were saying I knew something was wrong when you weren't uploading. Y'all know how I am. I'm always either, grocery shopping, window shopping, whatever. I'm always looking at something cheap or whatever. Always trying to put something on my channel, so when I stop, I am pretty sick, like very sick. But yeah, at this point, I don't know if they are going to transfer me. I feel like they're going to make that decision sometime tomorrow, because right now it's a little bit after 2, and the doctors have kind of made their rounds for the day. I just got through trying to eat lunch. I ended up just getting like a little chef salad, and I had to kind of cut it up really fine and, just be careful with eating it. And I've been drinking milk, because milk kind of, it seemed to help, coat my mouth and stuff. But just pray for me, y'all. Please, please pray for me and my mom especially. She's having a really hard time with this. I'm having a really hard time with it. And it's just a lot. So thank you all again so much for watching. And I'll be back. Y'all know if I'm gone, it's never for too long. I promise I will keep y'all updated. And that's where we are now. So send some good thoughts and prayers and energy. I love y'all. Take care. Bye.